trying to be so focused on my business, I lost sight of my family. Like, I was trying to be so successful, I lost track of what was more important. Like, what am I trying to be successful for? I was a part of an organization that was doing a sting for trafficking. And once I was a part of that, I started to see so much.
We talking about human trafficking?
Yes, human trafficking. And it's like we raised about $750,000 for its operation, Sting. And they actually had it, like, working with the FBI, had little body cams, and we were sitting at one of our big conferences, and they showed it. Like, we had I think it was like 16 kids that we brought home through that Sting. It's not just one person, or we see in the movies, it's this white van and this guy pick you up. Dude, it's a whole operation of people. Once I seen that and start, having kids in general, and just seeing like some of the kids in the neighborhood, I'm like, I know too much when it comes to this to not share it. At first, like, it was a struggle, because it's like I went from having a 9-to-5. I walked away from my 9-to-5. Like,
so you just walked away cold turkey?
Cold turkey. And they're doing an event where, oh yeah, we're going to have 50 kids. But when I get there, it's only like 2 or 3. But I'm still training like it's 50. We can start this day. We can do this. We can do that. Okay, cool. Not thinking about no paperwork, moving my stuff in, moving it around. I would say like 3 or 4 months in, it went from one price to another price.
Like, that's part of the training.
And that's so funny, bro, because when I first started, every little dollar I was on it. But then once I realized that all money ain't good money.
See, all money is good. All right, 3, 2, 1, and action. Welcome back to Surviving Startup. I am your host, Jamon. As you can see, some things has changed. This is an all-new setup today. My co-host isn't with me. He has some business that he's been trying to get together, so hopefully y'all be able to see him back in the future. But for now, we got a dope show with none other than Reggie.
Yep.
And tell him who you are, bro.
Man, first off, thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate everything. My name is Reggie Macon. I'm the owner of Battle Ground Jeet Kun Doe. We're a martial arts school here in downtown Grand Rapids. Just serving the community, helping the youth and some ladies with self-defense. I also train MMA fighters and boxers. Mix it up with a little sports strength and conditioning and speed and agility stuff for the athletes. Just try to find a way that I can, make a difference in the smallest way, but what I'm saying, make it happen.
So what? Before we go into the business part of everything and what you're doing and the technicalities of that,
right?
Tell us, like, what was your background like growing up? Like,
Man,
did you grow up in Grand Rapids?
No, originally from Chicago. Moved here, Lord knows how long, but kind of got homesick, so it's like a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
Ended up actually graduated from Union High School in 2005. So.
Okay, the red and black. Okay.
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons why I went to you. But yeah, so did that. Played ball, had full ride scholarships and stuff like that. But some things happened to where they kind of altered me going to school. So ended up going to trade school and getting certified in carpentry. And after that, it's like I met my wife that's current now. So I've been with my wife since I was 18, and I'm 37 now. So.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so
that's what's up.
It's been a long journey, but we made it. So yeah.
So
other than that,
years strong.
Yep, going on 19 years. August 4th, it'd be 19 years, and then
20, bro.
Yeah, 20, and then August 14th we'd be married for 14 years.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, so
I love to see that. Me and my wife been married 10 years.
Okay.
Been together 17.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I love to see it.
Yeah.
Man. And I'm 38, I think, man. I don't be even really be trying to remember.
Hey, sometimes you think like, hold on, how old am I again?
39? Yeah. I don't know. So then, like, what kind of struggles did you have to overcome to get to where you...
Man,
where you at right now, today?
I had a big mental lapse after losing scholarships due to, the complications and stuff. And it's like for the longest, I was playing ball. I played basketball.
Yeah.
Did play some football.
Was it like one of the superstar?
Oh, kind of, sort of. I did my thing. Like, it was me and a couple other guys on the team, but like we was, I would say, 4 of the few that was like, all right, we can go make something happen. But
yeah, I asked you that. Why I asked you that is because it made me think that when you said what you said, because I hear just from watching podcasts and you hear sports individuals, like sometimes when you have that stardom, especially from high school and then college, or maybe even if not college, maybe just after high school it leave, and then it's like that was who you were, then it's like something missing, and then it affect a lot of people, I guess. Like
it affected me, bro. Like in high school, I was 205, 3% body fat. I worked out 2 hours before school, 2 hours after school. Like
you was
one of them.
Okay,
So
yeah, that was your life.
Yeah, so it's like my whole, of course, any urban kid, any kid in the urban community, you know, their whole dream is to make it to the league or make it to the NFL. And I was like, there was no other, you know, they have a plan B. Ain't no plan B. This is what I'm doing. I'm finna put my all into it right now. Still don't drink or smoke, but didn't drink, didn't smoke. But I was just grinding. Yeah. And then it's like you said, that was me. And then when I wasn't able to do that, I stopped hooping. Didn't touch a ball for like a good year. Gained like 75 pounds. Like it was tough. So doing all that, and I was like, man, like you said, I had to find like who I was, because I was just so consumed with sports. Ended up going to carpentry. I've always been good with my hands and building something or taking something apart, being a tinker, you know what I'm saying? Taking something apart, looking at it like, okay, this is how it works, put it back together. Yeah, so it's like, found a school of construction and graduated from there, and it's like, man, I got my certification and doing everything, you know, end up meeting my lady, but it's like, I always try to find a positive out of the negative. And it's like, if I would have went to school, if I would have did this, I would have never met my lady. I wouldn't have had the kids that I have now. So a lot of things play. So it's big. But yeah, once I had to have that sit down and be transparent with myself, which is one of the hardest things you can do. Like, you can put on the front for everybody else, but like when you have to have that self-talk, it's like, okay, now you gotta figure something out.
So what that look like though? Because like I hear that, and you hear people say that, but then what did that look like for you?
For me, bro, like it was coming to terms with knowing like, okay, maybe the league ain't for you, or it's not gonna be for you, but at the same time, who are you now? Like, is this the best version of you without that? And once I was sitting there and thinking like, I don't know if this is gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't to the low where it was like suicidal type thought, but it was more like, okay.
You was evaluating yourself.
Yeah, I was evaluating everything, like, and it wasn't like regret, because, you know, going through that and having those trials and tribulations and like going so hard with basketball, they kind of taught me who I was and how hard I can really go if I believe in something. Yeah. So now it's just shifting that same mindset towards something else. Yeah. And like once I figured that out, it's like, you know what I'm saying, still growing, still to this day trying to figure stuff out, but like once I made up my mind, it was like, all right, you can do something. And then, you know, losing that like scholarship and doing stuff like that, it helped me think about how can I help the next generation coming up. So it's not so much of being focused just on this, but choosing your friends like you choose your outfit. You know what I mean?
So then, would you say that was a pivotal moment when you self-evaluated? Because like I know, like we don't want to make it seem like it ain't this or that, but self-evaluation is really all we need sometimes, and I think it's harder said than done for men, especially because with emotions, you taught to just push it down. Dude. You don't supposed to cry. Yep. If you show emotions, period, you weak. You know what I'm saying? So we learn how to just push all of that stuff
bottle it up. You know what I'm saying? Be a man, tough enough.
Unfortunately, it comes out at the wrong moments. But I like how you went into that, because that's really, I think, where my life really started to make new pivots to new chapters. When I was looking at myself and I'm like, let me look at myself though. You know what I mean? Like, why do I feel like this about this? Like, I was angry about things, but it wasn't until I stepped back and asked myself, why am I angry about this?
Yeah, like, did you have a legit reason to be angry for it?
And then when I look at it, it's like, I really didn't have a legit reason. But then why was I really angry like that? And then you start looking at stuff in your life, and then you go back farther and farther. The next thing you know, you're like, oh, okay, that's why
you find past traumas that's affecting today's life and stuff. So, yeah.
I think you can, before you get to the point, if you ain't doing therapy,
Yeah.
then I think that's something that you can just start with. Like, just start looking at yourself.
But
am I happy with where I'm at?
even with therapy in our community, therapy is looked as a sign of weakness, or you shouldn't do it, or
I think
it's our counterparts.
I think it's starting to become more
now
of the norm now.
Yeah, but before coming up, you couldn't say nothing about that. You doing that? You doing this? Like, oh, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So
you heard to talk about the crazy house.
Yeah,
you don't talk about the crazy house no more.
No, it ain't. But I mean, now you
but everybody knew somebody who went to the crazy house.
You might have a chance to get canceled now. You better not say crazy house.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying?
Real though. No, real talk.
But yeah, so it's like the pivot point in not everybody's life, but when you find that pivot point, it's beneficial because, like I said, you get to look yourself in the mirror and then really get to see your flaws and stuff without somebody else on the outside. Like now you get to observe yourself as a person from the outside.
Yeah.
To really chop down that brick wall and break those layers
100%.
down. So it's like, dang, okay, now, like you said, I'm angry about this, but why? Like, where did this come from?
Just keep asking yourself why.
and
keep asking yourself why.
Some of the best conversations you can have with somebody, just ask why. It may sound repetitive and stupid, but just saying why, because that make them think more, think deeper on, okay.
And that be the problem. A lot of times we're not thinking through that.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Or regurgitating something we heard and not knowing the truth behind it and just, doing this and doing that. It's like, okay, but why?
And then we stuck in a cycle, and then we can't accomplish those dreams.
Nope.
Then slowly but surely, if you ain't working towards it, you just forget about it. Then now it's just working in bills. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's a conversation for another day.
Right. We can get into it.
So let's talk about your business, though. Like, so what exactly do you do?
So Battle Ground is actually a martial arts school. It's not the traditional martial arts school. It's not like karate or taekwondo. We don't wear gis. We don't have the forms and katas. Bruce Lee created Jeet Kun Doe for the average person to learn how to survive, pretty much. Because I can have a room full of 100 people and teach them all the same tools, but our bodies don't move the same. Yeah. They express themselves in different ways, but nothing against the other disciplines, but when you telling me I have to stand a certain way and punch a certain way and my body don't move that way, and you're like not really forcing, but you're trying to teach somebody a technique.
Be like water.
Yeah, there you go, look. So it's like, instead of me sitting here and trying to force something, it's like my body might move differently. So our footwork and our body expresses itself different. So it's a self-expression. So like I said, the punches and everything is not traditional, like set in stone, this is how you have to do it. I'll just teach you the main tools. But you can look at a person and know, like, okay, they've been practicing. Okay, they've been doing this, they've been doing that, because it's not about what I'm teaching you at the gym, it's about what you're taking home and doing at home on your own time too. So a lot of times you get people that come to class and they will kill it, look good, but go home and don't do nothing. And then come back to class and wonder why buddy over here doing way better than them. Buddy going home and, you know what I'm saying, he practicing at home. He calling me trying to get more. I'm like, bro, chill, wait till the next class. You know what I'm saying? But we just, it's like I said, it's non-traditional. It's not you come in there and just see everybody in white gis and everything. Yeah. We do have my shirt with my logo on it and stuff like that. We have a uniform type feel so everybody look good together. It ain't the traditional. We in there, we're gonna be listening to some music. I love to crack jokes and smile, but we definitely gonna work. Like, you're gonna walk out of there like, what's wrong with you? Like, stuff that I went through when we was training, I want people to feel the authentic feeling. This is how it's gonna feel. This is how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be no cakewalk. I've had people that come train with me that have been knowing me for years. Like, man, bro, I thought you were just putting on for the book, bro. Like, I ain't know it's like this. Like, bro, I take this serious. Like, survival is big. That's something we take for granted every day, making it back home. And a lot of people don't. So that's one of the biggest things that...
So is it a reason, though, like that? Is it something that made you want to show people survival skills? Man, that's what it sounds like. It basically
it's situational awareness, how to read body language. You know what I'm saying? Not putting yourself in a predicament where you have to do it. Like in my youth class, we have I taught them a little mantra: is just because I know how to fight doesn't mean I have to fight, but it's okay to defend myself. Meaning, I'm not finna go start nothing. I'm not finna be the one that's antagonizing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got you. Antagonizing. But at the same time, if it come to me, I know what to do and how to get out of this situation.
Yeah.
So, but even with that, it's like just understanding that a lot of people don't make it home, and we take that for granted every day. Like that's what started for me.
Is it a situation or something that happened in your life that made you feel like
Having my daughters. Once I had my first daughter, and I was a part of an organization that was doing a sting for trafficking. Mm-hmm. And once I was a part of that, I started to see so much. And I was
like probably we talking about human trafficking.
Yes, human trafficking. And it's like we raised about $750,000 for its operation Sting, and they actually had it like working with the FBI, had little body cams, and we were sitting at one of our big conferences, and they showed it. Like we had I think it was like 16 kids that we brought home through that Sting, and it's like knowing that, and these are businessmen, like multi-million-dollar and Fortune 500 companies telling their wife and kids, oh, me and such going on a trip, and we'll be business trip, and we'll be back later. The whole time they going into the middle of the water, we got these boats pulling up with these kids and stuff, and then so it's like once I seen that and start having kids in general, and just seeing like some of the kids in the neighborhood, I'm like, I know too much when it comes to this to not share it. And that's one thing that we lack in our community. A lot of people, you might find some of the oldest, wisest people in your neighborhood, but they keep it to themselves due to the fact that that's them. Yeah. Like not sharing that wisdom with the youth and not sharing it with the neighborhood. That's what I was like, one thing that I wanted to change.
I think we need to like start thinking more along those lines.
Yeah.
More people need to start thinking more along those lines.
So it's like your background or your history or things that happen in your past might actually help out the next person, but we are so all about us, we forget everybody else. So once I started having kids, and then teaching my daughter, she's 14 now, but I started teaching her when she was like 3, like how to punch, how to kick, how to push somebody off you, how to stand your ground, because a lot of times even with the trafficking, it's not just one person, or we see in the movies, it's this white van and this guy pick you up. Dude, it's a whole operation of people. They have spotters. They have people that's sitting back that's just driving the van. You have snatchers. Like, it's a whole like organization. It's one
Can
of the...
you talk about that? Go into that. Like, how is that affecting, like in the real world of where we live at right now? Like, what's going on? Because you breaking it down how they doing it. Like, because you see on the news, I've been seeing stuff like, if you see some type of residue on your door.
So all that, like, bro.
Like, how are they snatching people, and then how is what you're giving people helping to kind of...
So, and that go hands in hand. I appreciate you bringing that up. So, there are different type of ways. So, the common way, and it's not always men. They have women a part of their group. Like, you might see a woman going in the shopping, she might be at Myers. She's, by herself, facing her phone, trying to, figure out, get her list, calling somebody. And it'll be a woman that see that. And then she's considered a spotter. She'll follow you around before approaching you, due to the fact that she want to make sure you in the store by yourself. You're not just separated real quick to go grab something and then you meeting back up with somebody. So once they see that, they'll get on the phone, or they would actually engage you in conversation like, girl, it's been a long time, I ain't seen you. Like, we went to school together, trying to build a rapport. And then you know how sometimes we just be saying, oh, yeah, just to get out the way. So then now, man, it's been so long, how such and such, might even say a name, but you might actually catch it. Like, oh, shoot, I ain't seen him in a minute. So now it's building that common ground. So it's like now.
And it's kind of, what is it, to break down your defense?
Yeah, it's to break down, because if a random person just walked up to you and was like, hey, what's going on? You'd be looking like, all right, hold on, wait, back. But building that rapport, it kind of makes you relatable. So now if I'm relatable, you won't feel in a certain type of way when I'm approaching you. So now you go through because it's actually a true story that happened to my god sister. She attended a few of my classes, and then after that, she was at the 28th Street Myers on Kalamazoo and 28.
Okay.
And the female approached her. Hey, what's going on, girl? I ain't seen you in so long. It's probably been since school. And she like, I'm sorry, I don't remember you, but I ain't trying to be rude, but that's what it is. And she's like, oh, it's all good. How you been though? She was like, she had her daughter with her, so she's like, oh, I'm good, just me and my baby shopping. Which that's already enough too much information, because now you just told her it's just you and your baby shopping.
Yeah.
So now, she said she hit the aisles a couple times, and she noticed the girl was still, by her. So then she go into the checkout, she grab her stuff, she go to the checkout, Then all of a sudden now the girl is in the lane behind her. She don't have nothing in her hand, but she on her phone. And she was like, bro, like, just something seemed, real off about it. And then when she get up there, she just grabbed a candy bar or something, threw it up there and paid for it, and now she's walking out. And I always tell people, when you going somewhere, be mindful of the cars that's by you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it is a white van, the traditional snatcher van, just be mindful. See if there's windows around it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do a walk around. And then when you putting your groceries in the car, don't have your back to the outside. You want to turn a little bit. Just little things to keep it simple things. Yeah. So she said when she noticed that and the girl started kind of walking kind of faster, she saw a male approaching, but her car was coming up, before the male can get to him. She said she didn't even worry about her groceries. She put the baby in the car and she got in there and got on the phone real quick. And she was like, bro, honestly, if it wasn't for you, I don't think, I'd be here right now, because I was aware of what was going on. Like, simple stuff. And that's what I felt.
It'll almost throw you off if you're not looking for it.
And she was like, once, because the dude actually approached the door from the side where her daughter was. And she was like, I'm on the phone with the police. Like, get away from the car. So once that happened, they, got up out of there. Then she actually got back out, put her groceries in there. She took off. But it was like, just like a carpenter or somebody that's building something. Yeah. Once they get done, they stand back and look at it and admire it. That's how I felt when I heard that story, because I'm like, I helped somebody save their life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like small stuff like that. Yeah, yep. And it's yes, it's my god sister and it's her baby, but at the same time, it's like, even if it was somebody else, I still feel fulfilled, like I'm serving my purpose. And that's when once I got that and started getting other things, that's when I'm like, I feel my purpose is to serve others. And by me serving others is giving them this information.
That's dope. I think I probably should be more active about actually teaching my daughters these kind of things. Like, I be trying to send my kids little videos just to make them aware.
Yeah, so they have, to identify a potential person they can snatch. Like, if they're a young driver or a driver, excuse me, in general, they will put a zip tie on the back passenger behind the driver door handle. And it's something small. You might not see it, or you'll be like, what the heck is this? And you might not mind it, but that's an indicator saying, this might be somebody.
They marking potential targets.
Yep, they will put like a tissue, and they will lace it with a chemical that inside your door handle. So when you go to move it, it'll seep in the skin, and it won't happen instantly. You will get in a car, you start driving and it's veering off, but the whole time somebody behind you waiting for that to happen so they can get in the car. They got unmarked police cars, and I always tell the ladies in my self-defense classes or my workshops, if you have an unmarked police car with their lights on, call 911 and ask if you got a unit in this area. If they don't, hey, I got somebody behind me that's portraying to be a police officer. That's small stuff like that.
Yeah.
They will fold up money and put it on right in between your windshield wipers. And then that's laced with a certain residue.
If you find money, don't touch that money.
I'm telling you, but
if you find some money, I got $100 in my windshield.
So it's stuff like that, or even putting a syringe needle inside your inside your handle, so when you go to reach, it'll poke you. Like, it's a bunch of stuff. Throwing an egg on the windshield. Don't use your windshield wipers fluid to clean it because it is smeared. Because now you got to pull over to get it off, and it's so much, bro. Like, they would actually do bump the back of your car on purpose, and they'll get out. Oh, what's wrong with you? Up, you gone. Because now it's an accident, and you want to make sure you get the paperwork to get it covered. But it's a lot of stuff, bro. Like,
a lot of stuff out here.
It's a lot of things, bro. So just like everything else, they have to evolve to stay with the times. But it's like just sitting back.
What are some of the things that you teach though to try to avoid these situations?
So just like I was just saying, if an unmarked police car is with their license trying to pull you over, calling 911, making sure they got a unit in the area. Or even they have like little elevator things, like especially since COVID, a lot of people don't like touching doors or sanitizer. They got little keys that you can, it's going your keychain that you can use to press buttons or open things up without you using your hands. So technically you don't have to, you just knocking stuff out the way or just lifting up your windshield wiper to let the money fall down and go on what you got to do. So it's a lot of things like reading body language, or when, nowadays everybody and their mama want to go out and have a good time. But yet, if you got a nice car, you don't want to park by nobody due to the fact that you don't want nobody bumping your car. So we have parked farther away than we would if instead make sure it's a well-lit area at night. Or if it's not night when you get there, make sure you got a spotlight or, a street light above
Somewhere
your car.
where you at
So when you get back, when it's dark, you well lit. Not yelling help. Like a lot of times, with the day and the age of the cell phone, you yell help. That person, the people around looking for that next viral moment, they're gonna pull out their phone and record before they try to help somebody. Like social media and the camera phone in general has desensitized us as people, because we can go on social media and see somebody get killed. You can pull out your phone right now, like, oh man, they just killed, but you can't. But if you try to speak out and be positive, you kind of get banned or you get shadow banned, or like it's a lot of things they play into it. So like looking for that next viral moment.
Negative is pushed.
Yeah, the negative narrative period in general, because like even in LA, you hear, oh, don't go to Compton, don't go do this. In Chicago, don't go out west, don't do this because they kill. Like, if you from there, you know where to go. Like, tourists shouldn't go in the hood. You got some people like, man, I'm gonna go to the roughest part of the city. Why? You putting yourself in a situation to where you're gonna have to like see how rough it is. Like, why do that? You know what I'm saying?
To get out, you might not make it off.
Right.
You might not make it off Old Block.
Man, what? And it's like they glorify that. Like, and it's a lot of stuff that go into it. But don't get me wrong, I still listen to rap. But it's just like it's a lot of stuff that push a negative narrative, especially when it comes to our Black and brown communities. So
definitely, I think we're gonna start seeing a movement soon against.
In general,
something that's coming. Because it's like who really pushing this? Yeah, it's not us that's really pushing it. Because if that was the case, it'd be other races that have popular genre music where they talk about killing each other. But that's a story for another day. Right. So that's crazy. Like, I hope y'all was listening, because it's serious. Yeah. Like, the stats on people that's getting human trafficked. And then Grand Rapids, Michigan, we not far from Canada. So
that's another thing.
It's actually a
Michigan
big hub
is top 5 in trafficking.
So Michigan is top 5.
It's within the top 5 because we're surrounded by a body of water. And we're so close to Canada, like you said. So it's easier for a person to get snatched and gone quick, because now you got to cross the border, you got to do this. And it's like the stats behind it. It's like once you actually get like deep into trafficking, it's a 0.04% chance of survival. Like, it's rare for once you get in there that you coming back home. But it's not just, that's not the only sign of trafficking. Like, you have functional trafficking, where a person can live their everyday life and you will see them at work every day, but the mind control and everything is still there. She'll still be able to go see their family, still do this and still do that, but at home it's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that because I'm making sure I'm taking care of home, when it's not, you destroying yourself. Like, for instance, I had a client. Elaborate on that. Yeah, so I had a client that I was training for physical fitness. She wasn't even there for like self-defense or nothing. She was just like, I just need to lose 10 pounds. I got a wedding to go to. And, just me being me, just having general conversation with her, she was like, yeah, I kind of let myself go. I used to work out all the time, but at the time, my man, he was the breadwinner. He brung home the flowers with the spontaneous gifts and, buttered me up real good. And all of a sudden, he lost that job. So now, babe, I'm down on my luck, man. Ain't nothing coming in. One of my boys said, if you take care of him this one time, he'll look out for us. And I'm doing what's best for the family. So she go do that. Then it's like, okay, my other boy said, if you do this, we'll be back on, we'll be straight. And it went from just taking care of a couple of the friends to, hey, I got this person coming from out of town, to let's do this and let's do that. But to her, she's doing what she needs to do to take care of the family. So it's mind control. And a lot of times you hear trafficking, it's not always somebody you don't know. It'd be family members, somebody close to the family that will get stuff started. So it's like, you hear the stories of, my uncle used to touch me when I was little, and that stuff like that. So a lot of that past trauma plays a big role into how a lot of even male and female, little boys and girls, how they portray their life growing up, because now they in search. Yeah, they're in search of, feeling loved or feeling wanted and stuff like that. So now it's like once you tarnish a kid at a young age, that you deflower them at such an early age, they start to chase that same feeling growing up. And it's never going to be satisfied because it's not fulfilled the same way. So
Yeah.
It's a cycle
the
after
connection
that.
to it is a whole
Yeah.
different type of
Yep.
connection.
Yep. So it's a lot of stuff that go into it, and it's like sometimes I'll be sitting there and my wife be like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Man, you gotta hear, look at this," and checking stuff out, and she be like, "Okay, babe, that's enough. That's overwhelming. I'm gonna go to bed or I'm gonna go to the other room." But it's like, if I don't do it, who will? You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that, and that's one of the main reasons why I really started, because it's like having my daughters and my goddaughter that's just turned 16, and my two girls and my son. He the youngest, he's 6, but all of them, they know what they doing when it comes to defending themselves. My wife, when I first started the business, my wife was like, go do that little thing you got. Like, she a corporate head. She going 9 to 5, make sure the guaranteed money coming in, sense of security.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
But at the same time, like, I give my wife a lot of the credit, and it's not for the success, but where we at, due to the fact that I sat down with her one day after we had a church service. It feel like you ever sit in church and it seem like whatever the message was is directed straight towards you. Yeah. So I sat her down like a couple weeks later, like, man, I really think I want to, start this teaching thing, and started in my garage. She was like, babe, I've been waiting on you. I've been having an idea. I've been wanting to do it, but I wanted you to come up with it yourself. I didn't want you to think I was pushing you to do something. And ever since then, I've been in business for almost 4 years, and like I said, started in my garage.
So take us through that journey. Let's go. Let's go through the business journey.
Yeah.
Right. So you started in your garage.
Yep. Started in my garage.
What did it look like? What did that look like?
Man, when I first,
you say you've been in business 4 years now.
Yeah.
All right. So you started in your garage.
I started in my garage. 3.5. I'm sorry, 3.5 years, because it was June 25th of 2021.
Yeah.
So just about 3 years. It was just a naked garage, bro. Like, Amazon was my best friend. I started ordering mats for the floors, kick bags, speed bags, the whole nine, just to make it look like a gym. Like, getting weights and stuff. So it's like, and my first client was actually one of my friend's sons. She was like, bro, don't you do some training? I'm like, well, I'm about to. Well, you can start with my son. He can be your guinea pig. Like, I'm like, word? So, of course, I had my daughters in there training with me. But once that happened, another kid got to the point where my garage was too small for the kid class. And I was still training women. I had fighters, the whole nine. So once the kid thing started happening, I'm like, okay, all right, it's real. Like, it ain't just...
Okay, so let's walk through this process for somebody who might be in that lane and feeling like, I don't have this or I don't have that. Because one thing we always say on Surviving Startup is start today, not tomorrow.
Yep.
So you started in your garage.
With some donated mitts from one of my friends.
So you did what you had to do to start it up.
Yep. No, so even before that, before I even got the mats, I'm fast forwarded, but even before I got the mats and stuff, one of my boys, I used to train with him a long time ago, and he was like, bro, I'm done training. He tore his rotator cuff. He was like, I'm a family man now. I can still work out, do my own thing, but I got some stuff here that if you want it, you can have it. And that was how I started with the donated stuff. So
where I think it started though? It starts from that moment that we speak life into that thing that we want to happen. And then if we want it bad enough and we keep speaking,
make it happen.
Then stuff start happening around us. Where it's like,
so having that conversation with my wife is what I would say, like we say, the pivotal moment.
Yeah.
That's what really was like, she was believing in me before I did myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she said, I've been waiting for you. I've been wanting you to do it, but I didn't want to tell you until you convinced yourself. You know what I mean?
She didn't want to put something on you. Yeah. That was something that she wanted for you.
Right. So it's like, once I came to her, she was like, whenever you're ready. So like, and don't get me wrong, like my first 6 months.
Now that's what's gonna be the question. Yeah. So you went from the point where you had your first person that you had, and then to the point where you was not big enough to hold all the kid classes. Right. Like, what was that in between period? How long was that? Like,
that was, I would say, my 7th or 8th month. Was
so
where
from month 1 to about 8.
It was
space too little.
It began too little. At first, like, it was a struggle, because it's like I went from having a 9 to 5. I walked away from my 9 to 5. Like,
so you just walked away cold turkey.
Cold turkey. Hey, I told my boss, like, hey brother, like, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks, but I'm done. He was like, is there something else? I was like, nah, I'm actually gonna get into, believing in myself and starting this business with my martial arts stuff.
Ooh, I like it.
And he actually was like, Reg, I knew this day was gonna come. I just didn't know when. But you got the Midas touch. Whatever you touch is gonna turn to gold. Just do what you got to do. And he actually gave me my first $500 for like marketing and everything else. Like, if this is what you're gonna do, here's something that you can start with, and just keep me posted. Whatever you need from me. And it was a small business as well, but it was a black-owned business. Somebody that kind of took me under his wing to make me, see.
So you know.
So it's like, it's not going to be a cakewalk, bro. Like, he was telling me about his first 5 years and everything else. And I'm like, I took that as motivation, because I'm like, I'm not going to be the typical first 5 year person. Like, I want to be able to, like, if I'm doing something, I'm going to give it my all. Like, I was out here doing free events just to get my name out there. Just, doing small things. When they're doing an event where, oh, yeah, we're going to have 50 kids, but when I get there, it's only like 2 or 3. But I'm still training like it's 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, so,
that's what you got to do.
And it's like, and my biggest thing was, like, you would get those seasonal people that, oh, yeah, especially around the first of the year.
Yeah.
New year, new me. I want to try something different. And it's like the hardest part was finding those committed people that wanted to keep coming, even after those hard classes, still showing up, still making it, making their dream happen as well.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to, like, whether it's you an artist, whatever you're doing. Yeah. You got to go hard in front of the few. Like, it's the many.
And that was honestly my practice. So when I was getting the big groups, because like went from me doing those small groups to doing the Women History Month at Ottawa Hills High School for all the female students there, had given them talks and doing stuff like that for self-defense and how to carry themselves with confidence and not show signs of submissiveness when it's in the wrong time and stuff like that. So it's like, and what I mean by that is, how sometimes you'll see somebody walking down the street. They might not know you, so they don't make eye contact or acknowledge you, and they look away or shy away from it. That's a sign of submissiveness, and we don't want that. We want to be bold. We want to stand with confidence. So, just giving that message to the girls and stuff like that. So it's like that same speech that I gave to like 150 young ladies at Ottawa was the same way I carried myself to the 2 or 3 kids that I did when I first started. So it's like, and that was, like I said, it was just practice. Make this happen, let's go.
So, all right, if it's somebody right now they got training skills and they want to start their own gym, what would you tell them to start? How would you try
to start with less startup as possible when it comes to capital. Like I did, like I found out by me doing my business in my garage, I was able to write that off on my taxes. I can write part of the electricity, part of the mortgage that we have off of my taxes due to the fact that that's how I'm operating my business.
And that's your dedicated space.
That's my dedicated space. So it's like finding ways, not so much to cut corners, but finding a way to make those stretches easier. Because at first, I was looking for a space, and this person told me it was going to be a 4-year lease at $1,500, and I ain't have one person yet. But I'm like, oh, this dope. Nah, you don't have to start off super crazy. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And a lot of times, like my dad instilled that into me. He's like,
definitely.
it ain't where you coming from, is where you going, Reg. So make sure no matter what you do in a 9 to 5 or when you're doing your business, make sure you're one of the most irreplaceable people that anybody can come in touch with, due to the fact that you can't duplicate you. And that's another thing I had to learn. Like trying to look for somebody that can be an assistant instructor or something like that. I can't find myself in other people. I might see snips of myself in people, but you will never get the same authentic feel or experience with Reggie that you would get from somebody else. So
and I think that's probably one of those things right there where we have as entrepreneurs, as when we have those type of personalities where we want perfection and we don't want to let things go to a team member, it's because we want it done exactly how we would do it. But when we building a team, it's to get people that's stronger in other places that we're not strong at, so that you can trust those people to do that job that needs to be done. All right, so now you started off And then you transition into a bigger building.
Yep.
So what does that look like for you? And then like what does that process look like?
Dude, it was actually a blessing in disguise. Because of course my wife, she's working at the office. She works for LMCU, and her friends are having girl talk at the office.
Yeah. And
she's like, yeah, the garage is getting too small for Reg. We gotta find something else. And one of her coworkers, was like, well, girl, my husband is looking for some trainers because we got a space that he's looking to rent out. I would love to link them together. And I'm like, and she's sitting there, and right while they having a conversation, she texted me, babe, we might have something. Go to this address. His name is, this, that, and the third. Yeah. So I get there and looking around, I'm like, okay, this is decent. He come down, hey, what's up? How you doing? My wife told me that you'll be coming by. You looking for some space? I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for some space. Like, what you got available? He was like, this, and that's where we at now. I'm like, okay, like, let's make this happen. So, but it's still me being super early into my entrepreneurship journey and everything else. Mm. I didn't get anything in writing when I first started. And what paperwork is key. You can't change up nothing on me. Like, but me being so anxious to get in, to get in, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't care, bet I can start this day. We can do this, we can do that. He's okay, cool. Not thinking about no paperwork, moving my stuff in, moving it around. I would say like 3 or 4 months in, it went from one price to another price. I'm like, man, you told me it was going to be this. Like, what's going on? Oh, man, I saw your class getting kind of bigger. I know you got it. Oh, now you count my pockets. So it's like, oh, sat down with the wife. She like, yeah, it's kind of odd. Matter of fact, I'm going to type up something. Let's get signatures on it. We can lock it in that way. After that, it felt a little bit better. Now I start to feel more like, okay, I'm handling business now. Starting to get a business attorney to check stuff, oversee stuff. And it's like, okay, now, I'm a businessman. Look, I got somebody I can reach out to for legal advice, you know what I mean? So after that, and I will honestly say, that's something I should have did starting out first.
Word to the wise. Yeah. So like that's why that's why we're here for is surviving startup. You know what I mean? We like to have seasoned entrepreneurs, but we like to have the startups because it's a lot of things that we go through in these first 5 years, and that's one of those things. Like I've done things where it's like, oh, you want this job done? This will be. Oh, you'll take that price? Okay, let's do it.
Right.
I didn't have a contract up front.
Yep.
And then now, next thing you know, oh, we need to re-edit. So now I have to sit down and explain to them like, okay, listen. First, the music I use is so you won't get no copyright. Like, I have licenses with places to give you music that goes with your stuff, so you won't get sued for your music. Second, it comes from the field that you when you tell me, I'm going off what you say you want. Right. So not what you want as in a video. You understand what I'm saying? But like, what do you want this video to achieve?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I'm going off of. And then the thing B, sometimes people have a thing that they want the video to do, but then they also have this thing in their mind about how they want the video to look and what kind of stuff they want the video to look like.
So they ask for 6 or 7 revises.
I'm like, yo, this is not done like that because it's formulated to accomplish the goal that you set.
Right.
But then I don't like this, I don't like that. So we get down to like 4 revisions, and then they like, yo, the first one was actually the best one.
Yeah. And we could have canceled everything.
Like 3 weeks on revisions, and I'm like, okay, I got you. But
that goes to show the customer ain't always right either, though.
And you got a point there. So I'm going to go into that, though. But because I don't want to get off of this, jumping in things too soon, before we cross our T's and dot our I's.
Exactly.
And sometimes, like, you have people in the entrepreneur thing, well, especially during COVID, because everybody wanted to try to handle entrepreneurship. Everybody is starting to see is like it's not for everybody. But then it's a couple different kind of entrepreneurs you have. It's like you can be self-employed, or you can be an entrepreneur, where like you have to build your business to the point where you don't have to be there.
Yep.
And some people have that goal, but some people are comfortable being self-employed. Like ain't no shade to neither one.
Hey, it ain't no shade.
You know what I mean?
I work more hours than some people that got a 9 to 5.
And that's the thing. But that's the thing that we want to get away from in business is doing so much that we have to do. It's too many hats.
Yeah.
It's too many hats, and you cannot make something as successful as possible when you wearing every single hat. So then now it's the thing of learning, like, how do I put positions in place, and then at what times, like, what do I need here first,
and putting trust in those people, because for
that
me,
they can do what you hired them to do. Yeah,
my hardest part, like you said, Battle Ground is my baby. Like, I want this to be everything and more. But like you said, me wearing all the hats of controlling my social media, trying to get footage, making sure my curriculum is right, and being on top of that, and doing this, and trying to do marketing, like, that's a lot of hats.
It's a lot.
And it's like trying to put trust in somebody else because us, especially as perfectionists, they're not gonna do the video like I want to do it. They're not gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna. So it's like, now I actually have a social media manager. So now it's to the point where she'll post something. It used to be, and she's super hands-on, and she'll keep me in the loop. Like, I want to do this. What you think about that? Now it's to the point where I'm like, do what you got to do. Like, you know me. You know how it is. You know my lingo. Have at it. And now I start just getting a bunch of likes on my phone. I'm like, okay, what the heck done happened? So she'll post a video. Now it's like, she got it. But now, my hardest part was giving her that freedom. To do what she do. And that's what she do. You know what I mean?
Come back to like what you said, like the customer ain't always right, especially when you in the service. Like, okay, technically the customers are right. But here's the thing: if you do Jeet Kun Doe, like, bro, I ain't gonna come up in there and tell you like, yo, I don't want to punch like this. This is like, man, I ain't feeling that. Like, why don't you just show me this way? Like,
you'll be amazed,
hold on,
bro.
Wait, that chokehold. But look, my dad showed me this back in the day.
I've had some people do that. Let me show you how to do. Oh man,
bro, I don't know if you're doing that. Let me give you. Train me like this.
You have people
and you can come and you've been doing it, so. It's less of a matter of, and I think it really speaks to how we deal with our clientele and with our audience, because it's like, I'm always studying marketing and video, yo. Like, that's what niche, I do for fun. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at what's new coming out with AI. How can we use that to integrate it into our business? Like, I'm always looking at these things. I need to know how to convey that to the person who think they know what they talking about, but they just want a video that look like this. But I can say, yo, that video, look, that's the wrong way to go.
Reach as many people.
If you want this, what do you mean? So now it's just a way of putting it to, not just putting it to people, right? But it's also getting the right people. So you can't just sell your product and your service to everybody. Because everybody not your customer.
Nope.
And that's, as a creative, I'm sure most people that's videographers and photographers went through that, where it's like, and I mean, like, even service-based, period. Because when you trying to come up, then it's like, oh, you want that? You want to serve?
Quick.
You want to serve? You want to service? I don't teach people how to jump rope, but I know I can come through. I can show you how to do what you do. You know
I might show you how to skip it a little bit.
Like, that's part of the training.
And that's so funny, bro, because when I first started, every little dollar I was on it. But then once I realized that all money ain't good money.
See, all money ain't good money.
So it's like, because, like, especially like you said in the service and with martial arts, I've had people, when I'm telling them to do an exercise, well, what about this? Can I do it this way? Like, the way I'm showing you is like the beginner way. You're trying to add other things to do it. You're making it harder than what it need to be. But to you, you making it easier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have that. Go ahead and do it. Now you can't do a full set, but I need my full set. So
if you would train how I showed you, you would be to a full set.
Exactly. So it's like now, and then you'll get the people that nitpick every little thing. Well, I can't make today. Can I come this day?
Do you have a process of
so now my class hours, like I do have personal, I do offer personal sessions, one-on-ones, but it's only within my schedule now. I used to, you know what I'm saying, you call me 10 o'clock in the morning, you need to work out, come on, let's go do it, you know, but now it's like I have certain times. My mornings is usually for my personal sessions, afternoons is when I hold my classes. Monday through Thursday, I got classes, and then Saturday mornings from 8 to about 11, I hold classes, and I have a thing called Sweat It Out Saturday on Saturday morning from 10 to 11, where I would show the average person a circuit that I put my fighters through. Mm-hmm. So you might not want to fight, but you might want to see how to train like a fighter. So I give them access to that every Saturday morning. And we get in there. It say an hour, but I'm telling you the workout probably in like 35 minutes. But you're gonna walk out of there
like you did an hour.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. It's like when I first started, bro. Like every time I got a call, it was all right. I'm going to go train, babe. I'm going to do this, and then but trying to be so focused on my business, I lost sight of my family. Mm-hmm. Like I was trying to be so successful, I lost track of what was more important. Like, what am I trying to be successful for? And it's like it's driven strictly. It's driven strictly for business. And every time I get that call, I jump up. I'm missing out on family time. I'm missing out on watching a movie or just having that general quality time with the family, and you know what I'm saying. And then figuring out.
A lot of people sacrifice family for success.
And me, I always had a great example. My mom and dad, was married before he passed for 36 years. So having that, like, he would work his butt off, but still come home. I know he'd be tired. We wrestling, we doing this, you know what I'm saying? We doing that. But it's like having that example made me, again, have a pivotal point. When I'm chasing success, who am I being successful for? Is it for the social media stats, or is it for the people that I'm trying to make sure I leave a legacy behind? So when it's like having again, sitting back, reevaluating myself.
So now then, what exact systems did you put, like tangible systems did you put in place to make sure that you have a balance between that work, family life?
I went from work, focusing on business 7 days a week to actually having 2 days off.
So now you took 2 days off.
2 days off strictly for the family. Like, I turn my business phone off, and I, push that to the side. If it ain't about family, don't hit me up.
So you just make sure you have
designated the time, and it's like
for that.
And another reason why, and it might not be success to other people, but I find it successful to me, being able to be at my kids' field trips or picking them up from school. Yeah. And like when I was working a 9 to 5, I was missing out on so much stuff. Now, like you said, being present, showing up to where now the teachers at the school, and they, hey, Mr. Macon, how you doing? Oh, where you going? You going to, your daughter class? Yep. All right, here go your sticker. Go ahead, do what you got to do. So, and being able to volunteer and be a part of, like,
kids go to the same.
Yep, they do. I be seeing you in the drive-by. See the drive-by. What up, bro? Like, but being able to do that, bro, it meant the world to me, because when I was working at 9 to 5, I wasn't able to do that. Yeah. So now carving at that time, or if I have having that block to where, okay, I might have some clients. Okay, now I have the power to say, we got to move this to this time. I got to be somewhere.
And therein lies the power of entrepreneurship. But the thing is before it get easier, it get harder. Man. And before the grind get less, it get more. But at the end of the day, do you want somebody telling you what to do, when to be there? Nah, my kid got this at this time, but you got to be on the clock. Matter of fact, we need somebody to come in Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, man, now I'm looking at these bills like, okay, I can have a couple extra
dollars, yep.
Now my family's suffering. Like, man, so me, I'm still doing a 9 to 5, and I give myself a time frame to get up out of that.
Right.
And I know that what my money needs to be to look like to get out of that too, though. So I love how you did it. It's fortunate when you have somebody that's with you that can be like, you got.
That's
that,
why I say a lot.
You know
I owe her a lot, bro, because
I be trying to tell dudes, bro, you gotta get you a wife, bro, that's down for you, because if not anything else, you are going to make it further faster in life. When you got a partner that's rolling with you, like I ain't talking about your boys and nothing like that. Nope. Like, bro, ain't no dude in this world gonna be down for you like your wife. Man. Only person who may roll with you more than your wife is your mama. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But other than that, so somebody wanna be a trainer right now, they wanna open up their business. What is the one piece of advice that you will leave that person right now? Right now,
don't start your own thing. You can go to other gyms and be a personal trainer or something out of that gym. You can promote your business out of that gym, but that has to be an agreement when you go to that gym. So, if you were,
so tell me this then. So, can somebody come to you as a personal trainer and get on the roster with Battle Ground?
Absolutely.
And still have the ability to promote themselves. They can.
So my social media manager, she started out as one of my students. She used to do dance and stuff like that, but now, because I love pouring into people and helping people build. She has her marketing business back. Well, she was already working on that because she went to school for it. But
I'm gonna need her on here too.
Yep. So having her, dig more into herself, because she's dope at helping everybody else, but she don't post on her own page.
Bro, I'm a video marketer.
So
that's the thing for us.
Like you can see a vision for everybody else, but you want yours to be so.
And then it ain't always the fact that you want yours to be so perfect, but it's just like. You spend so much time doing it for everybody else. It's one of those things where you have to literally designate a time for your own business, even though that's bringing money in, but you can't reach further. Like, she definitely got to come on, bro.
Yep. So,
because I want to have one for creators. But
so she does that. Oh no, you good. So she does that, and then I know she used to do dance and teach dance. So not only does she have Sway Marketing, shameless plug, but she also have Making Moves Dance Fitness. I'm like, girl, you need to get back into that. Like, I let her first class back was at my gym. Like, you can have it here. I ain't gonna charge you nothing. I just want you to get back, because you can see, like, when somebody's doing something just because they want to do it or when they passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like Sway Marketing, she loves it because that's her field she's in. But the dance, when you see her out there, bro, it's like her face light up. Like, she's out there, let's go. And she got a Jamaican background. Like, her parents is Jamaican. So it's like, you see, what I'm saying? The whole swag. And so it's like everything Caribbean dance hall vibe. And it's like, just seeing her in that element, it's like, that's exactly what, what I do it for. Like, even when it comes to personal training, I don't want to be your trainer forever. I want to teach you enough to where you can build the confidence in yourself to go do it yourself. A lot of trainers will be like, I want you to be here and do this. I'm going to give you snippets here and there. It's like, no, we know working out is as tough as it is. So I want to help you build that confidence. And we know you can come here and train for 3 hours in a day. But if you going home and eating 18 cheeseburgers, bro, it's not gonna work. So it's like understanding
with
that
the lab grown meat.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another conversation for another day.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying, sitting here and me trying to make money. I don't look at my students or my clients as dollar signs. I would like to build a small community or a family, due to the fact that it don't just have to be about every time we get together, you got to spend money. It's like, I'm going to give you all the tools you need when it comes to this personal fitness. If you use me for 6 months, cool. If you need me for longer than a year, I'm not doing my job. I'm doing you a disservice, because you're continually having to lean on me for support when you should be able to build confidence in yourself. When you go in that gym, it's definitely hard and it's like overwhelming because you don't know exactly what to do. But once you start to build a routine, it becomes second nature. So that's another thing. It's like, I don't, like when it comes to the martial arts, be around as long as you want, because I want you to understand that this is a way of life and not just something I'm doing today.
It's a discipline.
Yeah, it's definitely a discipline. So I've had kids to where the parents is like, oh, you know, they just start trouble. I don't want them to learn how to fight because they're going to go around fighting people. To, I don't know what you done did. He, you know, doing this and doing that. He actually helped somebody out the other day and it ain't like him. Or I had a student that actually was getting bullied and didn't want to fight back due to the fact that he thought he would get in trouble. So just building the confidence to even speak up for yourself. And his mom came to me one day. They had showed up for class. It's like, hey, baby, go take Sifu over to the side and tell him what you did today. And it was two young boys that, you know, tried to jump on him. Not only did he defend himself, but he spoke up about it. I was like, it felt good, didn't it? He's like, yeah. It's like, what you want to do? Like, now, what you want to do in class today? Like, it's your class today. What we doing? And he was in there. He was leading. You know, he only six or seven, I want to say. But he leading the class. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. But, like, small rewards. That's another thing we don't do when we entrepreneurs. We don't celebrate the small things due to the fact that we're looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, always focus on that.
It's like
on that fire picture.
At the way, we lose sight of what's going. We are so lost in what we want, we lose track of what's present, and that's the most important thing. Especially, and I've learned that. So it's like, it's no time like right now, because we're not always promised tomorrow. So enjoying that present time, and like even through the struggles, enjoy that, because the struggle is gonna help you appreciate when you do have the good times and everything else. So it's like, yeah, while you going through the muddy waters, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be like, man, I feel like giving up. But not to get too religious, but you are never rewarded with something if, you know, the Most High don't know if you are gonna be appreciative of what's coming. So he gonna put you through something hard just to make sure you're worthy of that next step. And that next step might not be the end, but it's like it's always something going forward.
But it ain't too religious, because here's the thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
But like what you said, like, he's not gonna give you something before you're ready. But we have to understand that the readiness comes in the process. And if we don't put ourselves in uncomfortable positions, we can't get to the next step of the process.
That's a bar right
So
there.
we have to be uncomfortable in order to learn what it takes to be at that next level. Everybody want to be at that level, but they don't want to be uncomfortable.
Nope.
The biggest steps forward that I've had in my life was in the moments that I was uncomfortable. And then you said something else, if we can end with that. Because you said, today, being present in the moment. And it kind of tie into the whole thing, too, of those hard times being what prepare you for the next level. That's not... It's actually teaching you how to operate at the next level. So you got to welcome those things. And then you got to stay in the present while you're working towards things in the future, because tomorrow's never promised. So if it's anything else that you want to... Matter of fact, almost give the people your social media handle so they can know where to find you. Especially, I know it's some if it's some people who want to have a idea that they want to be a personal trainer. This guy... If he turns you down, hit me up. On the show. If you want to be a personal trainer, you can come through him. Down me, you're going to come to his gym and just be a personal trainer. Come, train, look at what it look like. And then if you say, okay, this is something I want to do, then hopefully that's a new mentor that you found in your life.
And not only that, though, it's like once you do make that decision, still be mindful of being a teachable person. Because you can have an idea of what you want, but it might not be in that time right now. So being able to be taught something or how to maneuver in that space is going to be a benefit to you due to the fact that you might have an idea, I want this, I want that. You might not have that equipment right away. So finding alternate ways to perform certain things, it will actually equip you with way better than just starting out with the most high things and everything else. So it's like, when I started doing the personal training and strength and conditioning stuff, I didn't have like the max trainers or turf. I was meeting at parks, working on the tracks and running hills and going to the sand dunes and, you know, running up the barefoot up the sand dune to work on the calves, like everything else. But I learned that from an OG dude that was like, we ain't have all this. get you a punching bag, a 50-pound or 80-pound punching bag. You know what I'm saying?
And then that can actually be your edge.
Yeah, it's
really, if you like, I ain't got nothing else.
But you can be a traveling.
We go out into the nature and use the nature to strengthen our bodies.
Because as they say, the nature is our playground. And a lot of people don't look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, just be a teachable person.
So you definitely got to be teachable. That's one of the first things that my business coach told me. Like, as long as you're teachable, I'm gonna help you get to the next level.
Exactly, and be open to accepting constructive criticism. Because a lot of times we think,
some people hate it.
Yeah, we think what we saying or doing is the end all be all. It's like, nah, it's not. It's gonna be something or somebody out there that been down that road and was like, I tried it that way. You should try this. Take it. Like I tell people when they come to martial arts, if I'm giving you something, take the things that fit you. You don't have to take everything from me. Take the things that fit you and how you do things, and then go from there.
And apply it.
And apply it. And it's like the whole thing.
Stop watching social media getting good in, because it's a lot of bull crap, but it be some good information.
It be some great information.
We get information, we don't act on it.
And like they say, knowledge is power. I say applied knowledge is power, because I can know the whole dictionary, but if I don't apply anything, then it's worthless. Yep.
It's useless. Yeah.
But I appreciate you.
Your social media.
My fault.
Social media
website is battlegroundjkdllc.com. Social media for Facebook is Facebook.com/BGJKDLLC. And then Instagram is Battleground JKD, and Snapchat is Battleground JKD. There's no underscores and none of that funny characters. It's just strictly that.
So you'll find it.
Yep.
Jeet Kun Doe.
Yep.
With that being said, hey, if you got something valuable from this episode, I appreciate if you like, follow. And remember, we gotta I ain't gonna say remember because we didn't even talk about this yet. But make sure you go on Facebook and go to the Surviving Startup group and join the Surviving Startup group.
Yeah, okay.
So our goal is by the end of this month, we trying to take our YouTube channel. Right now we got 50 subscribers.
Okay.
By the end of the month, we trying to take it to 100. But by the end of this year, we trying to be at least 500 subscribers.
Okay.
So that's 7, 8, 9, July. Dang, July is about to be over.
We got about 5 months
August,
to get you. No, 6 months.
August, September, October, November, December.
Oh, it's 5. Dang.
Yeah.
It's about to be August already.
So 5 months for 500 followers, subscribers.
And honestly, all BS aside, this is a dope thing that you got going on. Give you your flowers, because a lot of times in our community we don't do that. So I'm gonna do anything that I could to help you get those subscribers.
I appreciate it.
The followers, it don't matter. Yep.
YouTube, Surviving Startup, and then Facebook, join the group.
Yep.
And then some of the things we gonna be putting some other things together just for entrepreneurs in the area to really start up the group to where people come together.
Using each other's resources.
Everybody to get to those big goals that we're trying to reach. Not just the big, but the small too. You know what I mean? So with that being said, start today and not tomorrow. And we out.